We celebrate today the memory of a very famous saint. As I said in the introduction, his name is Saint Alphonsus de Liguori, Italian. He is the founder of the Redemptorist Fathers, the congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer. Redeemer, Redemptorists, they mean the same. Redeemer is Jesus. The Redemptorists are the followers and the disciples of Alphonsus de Liguori. Alphonsus de Liguori is bishop and doctor of the church. He is the patron saint of moral theologians. In Rome, there is a school named after Alphonsus de Liguori. The name of the school is Alphonsianum, named after the patron saint of moral theologians. And those who go to Alphonsianum in Rome are those who study moral theology. That is their expertise. That is where they are good at. In the SVD, we have a moral theologian in the person of Father Johnny Miranda, who received his doctoral degree in moral theology from the Alphonsianum. I'd like to say a few words about Alphonsus de Liguori so that we will get to know him. But before I say something about him, probably we should also say something about the saint whose memory we celebrated yesterday. Yesterday we celebrated the memory of the founder of the Jesuits. Today is the memory of the founder of the Redemptorists. Yesterday was the memory of Ignatius de Loyola, the founder of the Society of Jesus. He is the patron saint of soldiers and retreatants. He is the one who articulated and who explained very clearly to us what he calls discernment of spirits. And he is also the one who popularized what he calls the spiritual exercises. That is Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, the patron saint of the Jesuits in Ateneo de Manila University, and in many other schools in the Philippines and all over the world. Alphonsus de Liguori is the founder of the Redemptorists. The Redemptorists are in Baclaran. The Redemptorists are also in Cebu. It is an international congregation of men. But who is Alphonsus de Liguori? Alphonsus de Liguori was born in Naples, in Italy, in the year 1696. And believe it or not, at the age of 16, sweet 16, when he was only 16, Alphonsus already received 2 doctoral degrees. At the age of 16, he was already holding 2 doctoral degrees. He was a doctor in civil law and he was a doctor in canon law from the University of Naples. But he gave up the practice of law in favor of apostolic activity. He was ordained priest and he concentrated his pastoral ministry on parish missions, on hearing confessions, and informing Christian communities. But what is he really known for? His great pastoral reforms were in the pulpit and in the confessional. He was an excellent preacher. He was an excellent teacher. He replaced the pompous oratory of the time with simplicity. He was a teacher of the Christian life, and he taught by his preaching. That is why Alphonsus de Liguori is the patron saint of confessors, of priests who hear confessions. From the earliest years of his priesthood, he heard many confessions, especially during retreats and popular missions. And he taught that a confessor can become a minister of divine charity, fulfilling the rather difficult roles of father, of spiritual physician, of doctor and a judge. My dear brothers and sisters, Alphonsus worked tirelessly as a priest and as a founder of a congregation of priests and brothers known as the Redemptorists, who live a common life, striving to imitate the holiness of Christ and working mainly in popular missions for peasants and farmers in rural areas. Believe it or not, when he was already 66 years old, which is quite late, at the age of 66, Alphonsus was made a bishop. He rejected the honor of becoming a bishop a number of times, but later on, because he said he didn't want to become a bishop, but later on he was prevailed to become one and he was ordained. But as bishop, he began his reform with his own priests. And believe it or not, in his 91 years on earth, Alphonsus never committed any mortal sin. He did not commit any mortal sin. He was very devoted to the Blessed Virgin Mary. He always stressed the importance and power of prayer. And one of the mottos of Alphonsus is, "He who prays is saved, but he who does not pray is already condemned." He who prays is saved. He who does not pray is already condemned. My dear brothers and sisters, he taught his followers how to live a virtuous life by avoiding sin, by going to confession regularly, and having a devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary, known as our Mother of Perpetual Help. Alphonsus de Liguri was a missionary to poor people. He was a promoter of moral renewal. He was a doctor of prayer, and he died in the year 1787.